Today I wanted to cover, of course, part 2 of the concept ideas. My name's Dratlaw44, thank you for stopping by and checking out my channel. So basically what I wanted to do is to cover some more concept ideas for Season 6. That was in regards to second ultimates for certain legends, some different LTD modes, and some other little ideas like new weapons thrown in as well. Now, I did do a part 1 a couple of days ago. I'm going to post the link below as well, so if you haven't actually seen that first, check that out, because some of these ideas will make a little bit more sense as well there. But yeah, before I get into it, do remember to never stop moving, never stop believing, and stay Apex. Alright, let's get into the ideas and tell you all about it, and see what you think and what your opinion is. Now, before I do get into the second ultimates, one question I wanted to quickly ask, though, is what do you think about the potential of second passives and second abilities? Would it make the game too complicated? Would it add a new dimension to the game? Or would it kind of just make things a bit too messy and be too much? Let us know in the comments below, because I'd be interested. I thought it would be quite interesting myself, but everyone is different, and it would be very, very interesting to hear your guys' opinions. Right, okay, so the first ultimate was actually for Wattson. There were 2 ideas that I thought of, and I know that, of course, there's been some big changes to her regarding Crypto's pylon, the duration it lasts, although you can have 3, there are some changes to that. So one of the ideas was like a second pylon, like a different pylon. It regens health instead of shield, and it allows the team to be able to reload their weapons faster. Now, it can't be destroyed by Crypto's drone, but it only lasts for 60 seconds, and maybe a drawback, because perhaps it could be too overpowered, is that if enemies get within a close proximity of the second pylon, then they also gain faster reload speed and regen health. Again, this is kind of like an idea that I sort of thought about. I thought, what does Wattson need? She does need actually a lot more than this. However, could that be the answer? Let me know. The other alternative was that something for her when she's outside, because one of the things that, and one of the reasons I personally don't really play Wattson much, is because she lacks that outside capability, and I'm more an outside legend. I don't really like being in buildings as much, and I like to push and be aggressive and things like that. Now, the alternative for second Wattson's ultimate could be that she has a way of then gaining or giving a 25% instant health and shield regen on herself and teammates, as long as they're within a certain proximity of her. So in a fight, it means that she'd have more viability outside, but she would still keep her strength in buildings, which of course she's got at the moment. Could that be the thing that would give her the edge, perhaps, to making her a really, really strong legend without being maybe too overpowered? Let us know. I'd be interested to hear from any Wattson mains what you thought of that. Would that be a great idea? Would that work? Is there better? If you can come up with a better idea, I want to hear it, because, you know, it's all, again, it's ideas, it's concept ideas, having some fun with this, and just learning and kind of working together to try and get some feedback, because Respawn do listen to these things, funnily enough. They seem to have some ideas that they definitely share. The Mirage Invisibility, when he revived, actually was someone else's idea, and they took that on board, so goes to show. Right, okay, so moving into it, Bangalore's second ultimate. Now, this was, again, 2 that I thought of for this one. So it could be a bed of proximity mines that detonate if an enemy triggers them. They explode regardless after a certain amount of time, so it could be, for example, like a minute and a half, 2 minutes, something like that. But of course then it does like stun damage, kind of like her current ultimate, slows them down and does damage and all the things that she normally would do. Now, the second one is Pickle Viper's idea. So this one was where actually that she, as an ultimate, she fires a net from her launcher that entangles an enemy. Now, they go into a sort of a knockdown / stun state temporarily, and they won't die or anything like that, but of course it slows down their movement speed. It maybe disables their abilities, perhaps like Revenant, but maybe that's too strong. But a teammate can help them, which is faster, or they can free themselves by pressing a certain button. Again, I'm not 100% sure whether that works or not, but it's an interesting idea, so I thought I'd definitely add that. my friend Pickle Viper certainly had some interesting ideas, so well worth taking on board there. Right, okay, so the next one then was Gibraltar. Now, we only come up with one ultimate. This was Pickle Viper's. I couldn't think of anything for him, to be quite truthful, because I just feel like anything that was added would make him too powerful, and I'm not really all about that. So basically what he suggested is that his teammates can take more damage for a short while, but Gibraltar himself moves really slowly. So it'd help his teammates make a push, but then it's risky for Gibraltar. But then he's quite tanky, so he'd be a bit slower getting there, but that could be quite good. I mean, maybe that isn't that overpowered. Again, if you have any thoughts on that one, write a comment below and let us know whether that would be too much or not, which is fine. Now, on to Crypto. Now, I know I suggested a Crypto one in the other video, and I'm sure that some of you will love to hear another Crypto idea and some of you won't. But, this is maybe another alternative. So, Crypto's EMP shorts out the jump jets that each legend has, which is why actually they can jump from any height whatsoever and not take damage. If someone gets EMP'd, then jumps off a high place or a high cliff, then they can actually take full damage and potentially die. Quite an interesting idea. This was Pickle Viper's as well, not mine. And I thought that actually that was quite a interesting suggestion. Could add a new dimension to it, but again, would that be too overpowered, or would that be completely useless? Again, any comments or anything like that would be interesting to hear your thoughts on. Right, okay, so regarding that then, I think the yellow ones were sort of ones that are always hard to, maybe kind of come up with, but Octane suck at the second ultimate, so this one was kind of an obvious one. If they did decide to stick with the jump pad, then basically the jump pad would give all teammates an increase of movement speed for 8 seconds once they land on the ground. How much is hard to sort of say how much the increase would be, but maybe 10 to 15%? Always a question mark. It doesn't stack with Bangalore's, Race, Pathfinder's, or Octane's abilities that make them move faster. If those are used and activated, then the Octane jump boost stops. So they can only have one or the other, depending on what is kind of needed. Pathfinder's second ultimate. So this was my idea. It could be a grapple that goes further, but it can only be used on enemies to pull them in closer. Now, it has more range than the normal grapple, but it does take some skill to actually catch someone, because of Chaos is very easy to miss. If the enemy is caught in the grapple, then they are slightly stunned for 1 to 2 seconds, giving you and your team a good chance to down that player. But it would take some skill to, of course, do so. It's not going to be just this easy, guaranteed hit or anything like that. Right, okay, well, look, those are pretty much it as regards to the second ultimate. Was there any thoughts on that so far? Did you like any of those ideas? Were they terrible? Or did you have better suggestions? Because if you did, I want to hear your comments. I'd love to hear the ideas, because that's what this is all about. Right, let's get into the new weapons and then the LTD modes, and we should be done. Okay, so second weapons. My friend suggested, well, could there be maybe melee weapons that could be used? I know we've got heirlooms that do stuff, but could there be other ones like swords and all those things? I don't know whether that would work in this particular game. It would be interesting. He also suggested a heavy burst fire pistol. There's a hop-up that makes the 3 rounds spread out to make the hitting the target a bit easier. It'd be kind of like an RE45, I guess, but slightly more burst potential. An interesting one. And my one was a care package weapon, actually, which was a launcher. Basically like a rocket launcher, I guess. Now, I know people have said about grenade and rocket launchers. I'm not sure, again, whether this would work, but, hey, I thought I'd suggest it. So this basically would be a rocket launcher that you could pick up as a care package weapon only. Basically, it fires 2 rockets at the target. You wouldn't have tons of ammo, of course, because that would be just too overpowered. If they hit the target, they're heat-seeking, but they can, of course, still hit obstacles and things if people run around rocks and buildings and things like that. So you've got to, of course, time your shots. However, if they hit, then, of course, one does explosive damage, which would, of course, damage the shield / health, and the other one causes a temporary stun on the player. So of course, it gives you enough time to of course catch up, especially if you're like Octane or Wraith or someone like that, to of course give yourself a good chance of finishing that particular player off. Again, let me know if you thought of anything better in that, or regards to new weapons that could be interesting. Right, LTD modes. Now, I did experience some cheating in the other day, which I posted a video about. It was a bit unfortunate, and hopefully, Respawn or, they look at this, because I don't think I'm the only one who's encountered this particular problem. But based on this being solved and everything like that, when a limited mode is won, you spin a wheel and win either a legendary or weapon cosmetic, or a legend or weapon cosmetic. Rares are the most common, epics less rare, and legendaries are the rarest, but they are unique, so they therefore are the ultimate flex. Now, I will say in the background, I'm crawling around on a knockdown shield. Is it just me, or is that moving exceptionally fast? I haven't seen it move that quickly. Anyway, so that was just something to sort of add to it, that maybe there was some sort of incentive for winning, because I do feel like there really isn't. Now, in regards to the actual limited time mode, so this was something that actually my friend came up with, Pick Up Viper. So either a random squad or champion squad have a large health, but shown on the map the whole time. They can't respawn a team member, but normal squads can. The team that kills them becomes the strong squad, or the alpha squad. He did say that maybe normal teams can't hurt each other, but they're all trying to beat the alpha squad because they have more health and, of course, more shield, I guess. The last team remaining wins as usual. There might be maybe no storm, as you need to keep moving anyway to try and get to the alpha team, and there would be a time limit in case you get some squad that just hit instead of wanting to actually play. The team who are the alpha squad, then time ran out, would of course then be the champions. I thought that was a pretty cool idea, I'm not going to lie. What did you think about that? Was that going to be an interesting or a different limited time mode? Or would that just be an absolute boring waste of time? Let me know. I'd be interested. As I say, I'm always interested to hear feedback on these, because I would like to sort of think that, there are some ideas out there that are better, or that can expand on the ideas, or anything like that. So do let us know on that one. The second one then was regarding a random gun. So you start with a random gun. Everyone has the same 1/maybe 2, and at certain points in the match, maybe like a certain time gap, sort of like say a minute and a half in, minute in, whatever, the weapons change to another random weapon. There would only be health and shield pickups, as the guns would spawn in your inventory with ammo. So it would mean then that they would come down to kind of gun skill. Everyone starts off with a wingman. Okay, the people who are very good with the wingman would, of course, be able to have an advantage initially. But then after, like, say, a minute or so, it changes to something else, an RE45. Who's good with an RE45? You still have, like, shields. I mean, it could be Evo shields, perhaps. That could be really cool. So yeah, I think that pretty much covers the majority of the ideas. So if you have any other ideas, let us know in the comments. If you want to see any suggestions about new passives or second passives and second abilities, that could be something that could definitely be a really interesting idea. But would it make the game too complex? Let us know. But otherwise, I think that is pretty much the majority of what I wanted to cover regarding this concept idea. I will be doing more in the future if I can think of any more worthwhile ideas. I don't just want to post out anything. So hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you liked it, please, a like really helps me out. If you want to subscribe to future content, that would be amazing. I'm so close to 50 subscribers. I only need one more. It's a nightmare just getting that extra one, but hey, I'm sure I'll get there eventually. But remember to never stop moving, never stop believing, and stay Apex. That is it for me for this particular video. I hope you did enjoy it. I will see you in the next one. You take care. See you later. Cheers now. Bye.